That is a great feature. The other, let's just move up from the aircraft. They use, when you have a large battery like this, you're talking a lot of voltage, and the old connectors used to spark when you connect them together. The new connector has an anti-spark feature to it, so when you put it together, you don't get the noise that you normally would. You'll notice I plugged it in. The camera gimbal is initializing. And now when we move the aircraft, the camera stays completely level. Wow. We can control tilt, pan, plus a couple other modes inherent to this gimbal control. This particular aircraft was set up with the light bridge system. The camera is outputting 4K video or capable of recording 4K video. The technology that was in use before really didn't allow you to see high definition video. It was composite video. The light bridge system allows us to transmit back down to a ground station in HD. So a huge improvement in video quality. It's a little more powerful than a typical transmitter too, so we get a longer range.
Wow, so that allows you to actually make camera adjustments from the ground too? I mean, like, can you do things like change extra settings in the camera in flight?
Not really.
Okay.
It's more of a limitation of the camera. We can do the shutter, we can have this position to a point of interest. So as you fly past it, the gimbal will stay oriented to whatever you're looking at originally. The light bridge system also allows a couple of different features, especially necessary when you're filming professional photography. The first one is you have a transmitter in the air. You can have multiple ground stations. So one for the pilot, one for the camera operator, one for your director or of photography. So they can all see the images in real time coming out of the camera.
Yeah.
So you can make.
Very nice.
Yeah,
anyone can basically look into what you're looking at and tweak exactly what it is you're shooting.
Exactly. So that's a huge advantage compared to the older system. Again, we have a lot of interesting controls with this flight controller. GPS stabilization being one of them. There's also all the fail safes. So if you run out of battery, if you lose contact with the transmitter, even if you go out far enough where you can't see orientation in the sky, you can hit a switch on the transmitter and it'll come back and land. So really cool features.
And all these, I mean, this looks really shiny. What is all this made out of? Is this all carbon fiber?
Carbon fiber arms, carbon fiber top plate. The bottom plate here is actually not carbon fiber. It is power distribution. So they really cleaned up the design. There used to be a lot of, like a rat's nest of cable.
Right.
That's gone now. DJI really spent a little bit of engineering coming up with a design that was very clean, very maintainable, and really just made it easy to add different components to it. This is the radio control unit. It's a Futaba 14 channel. We have multiple switches that allow us to control the aircraft itself and the mode that it's operating in. We can control landing gear, we control turn to home. On the back we have a couple of switches that allow us to control the gimbal unit. Let me turn that on real quick. This is the light bridge unit. This is both transmitting our radio signals to the aircraft and transmitting back to us the video signal. And now you can see, as I move a slider switch, I get tilt, and I get pan.
Wow.
You can see how smooth that is.
Yeah, that's perfect. Incredible.
I can set it so it just faces down. So it gives us a lot of options from the operator controlling the camera operation. I can take pictures and start and stop the video through this switch. And then I can actually see what's being filmed at the same time.
All right, so you built this all here, all in house.
Correct. We build them here, we test them, fly them, make sure that they operate correctly.
So what should someone know if they're looking to buy one of these from Autonomous Avionics? How do they go about doing that?
They can go online, autonomousavionics.com. We do have this particular model online. We can modify it, putting different gimbals on for different cameras. We can use different controllers. We can build a single operator system with one of these or two of them, so you have a camera operator and a pilot. The actual construction of the aircraft is pretty straightforward. It's pretty much putting on the arms, putting on the landing gear. That's the easy part. The more difficult part is putting on the gimbal and setting up the flight controller to work properly with your transmitter and to get flight parameters correct. And that's really the most difficult part of the whole thing. We do them a lot, so we have the experience on how to set these up correctly. And that really is the biggest time saver. You know, again, if you're flying professionally, you need to be up in the air, and you don't want to be mucking around with the aircraft trying to get it to fly correctly. We make sure when it leaves the shop that it flies perfectly. And that's really the key.
So again, if you're looking at buying a drone like this, you could buy it from the manufacturer, but you'd be much better served buying it from Bernie so you can set it up so it flies perfectly for you. You don't have to waste time watching other YouTube channels trying to figure out how to learn every little piece of this, because like you said, time is money, and the sooner you can have this thing up in the air, the sooner you can get stunning 4K footage out of your camera.
That's right.